In our previous class, we have seen regularization techniques. Today, let us see convolutional neural networks. In deep learning, convolutional neural networks is a class of artificial neural network most commonly applied to computer vision. CNNs are regularized versions of multi-layer perceptrons. Multi-layer perceptrons usually mean fully connected networks, that is, each neuron in one layer is connected to all other neurons in next layer. The full connectivity of these networks make them prone to overfitting. Typical ways of regularization or preventing overfitting include weight decay, skip connections, dropout, and early stopping, etc. CNNs take a different approach towards regularization. They take advantage of the hierarchical pattern in data and assemble patterns of increasing complexity using smaller and simpler patterns designed in their filters. Therefore, CNNs are having simple connectivity and less complex. In our previous classes, we have seen fully connected neural networks. These fully connected multi-layer feed-forward networks treat all inputs interchangeably, means no relationship between the individual inputs. If order doesn't matter, this kind of architecture is fine, but image data is different. For computer vision tasks such as image classification, if we feed 2D image to fully connected dense network, we need to collapse it down to one-dimensional vector. 2D images have spatial structure. If we collapse it to 1D vector, then all 2D structure in that image will be gone. So we would lost all the spatial structure in that image. Additionally, fully connected network would require vast number of parameters. Full connectivity between nodes cause the curse of dimensionality. For example, CIFAR10 images are only of size 32 by 32 with 3 channels. So, a single fully connected neuron in the first hidden layer of regular neural network would have 3072 weights. Suppose if little higher resolution image 200 by 200 pixels need 120,000 weights. And one more problem is fully connected networks doesn't consider spatial structure of data. We need to take advantage of spatial structure while designing the architecture of neural network. The question is, how can we keep spatial structure in the input while building architecture of neural network? CNNs are special kind of neural networks. They exploit the strong spatially local correlation present in the natural images. As opposed to multi-layer perceptrons, CNNs have the following distinguished features. Layers are arranged in 3D volumes of neurons, local connectivity, CNNs share weights, and final one is pooling. Let's see the first one. Layer of CNN have neurons arranged in 3 dimensions, width, height and depth. You can see here the layers are arranged like this in 3D volumes, where each neuron here which will be connected to small region in the previous layer, and this neuron will be connected to the some other different region in the previous layer. This neuron connected to specific region in the previous layer, that is called receptive field. This kind of locally connected layers and fully connected layers are stacked to form CNN architecture. Let's see the second feature, local connectivity. CNNs exploit spatial locality by enforcing local connectivity pattern between neurons of adjacent layers. CNN architecture ensures that the learned filters produce the strongest response to spatially local input pattern. Here, these filters are nothing but weight matrices to detect this kind of edges or lines. By stacking many such layers leads to non-linear filters. Means first layer identify small parts of inputs, such as edges, then form more complex features. In the next layer, they will form more meaningful features. In this case, based on this lower level features, in the second level, some kind of curves are formed by using these first layer features. Then ears, legs, and entire elephant outline is formed. And third feature is shared weights. In CNN, same filter is used to detect particular feature. Each filter is replicated across the entire visual field. These replicated units share same parameters and form the feature map. Suppose if filter is 3 by 3, first it will be applied on this portion of input matrix, then same filter will be applied on this input matrix, then it will be repeated like this. It will slide over this input matrix. So for that filter, same weights will be used. Replicating units in this way allows for resulting activation map to be equivariant under shifts, rotations, size, etc. Image can be bigger or image can be smaller, or it might be shifted, or it might be rotated. Object might be placed at the corner of image. Detecting object would be difficult with previous architecture, but if we use this kind of filters, then even if images have this many variations, then also features will be detected properly. And fourth feature is pooling. Feature maps are divided into rectangular subregions. Features in each subregion downsample to a single value by taking maximum value or average value. Pooling reduces the size of the feature maps, so number of parameters required will be reduced. And one more advantage is it adds rotational or positional invariance feature extraction. The maximum value could be from any position inside this subregion. Here it is from bottom left, but whereas here it is top right. Pooling doesn't capture the position of the maximum value, thus provides the positional or rotational invariant feature extraction. So we can say that CNNs are more robust to variations in their positions. A typical CNN consists of input layer, hidden layers, and output layer. Hidden layers include special layers that performs convolutions. If neural network consists of at least one convolution layer, that neural networks are called convolutional neural networks. Convolution is a mathematical operation. It measures how two functions overlap as one passes over other function. Kernel. It is also called as filter. It is a grid of weights overlaid on image centered on one pixel. Each weight multiplied with pixels underneath it. Output over the centered pixel is sum of element-wise multiplications of kernel weights and input matrix pixels. Filters are used for traditional image processing techniques such as blur, sharpen, edge detection. This is the filter. It is grid of weights. Typical CNN architecture will be like this. Stack of convolutions and pooling layers. At the end, fully connected layer. Let us see each layer in detail. Convolution layer. Convolution extracts tiles of the input feature map and performs dot product of the convolution kernel with layers input matrix extracted tiles. Convolutions are defined by two parameters: the size of the tile, which is equivalent to size of the kernel. It would be typically odd number like 3 by 3 or 5 by 5 pixels. And second one is depth of the output feature map, which corresponds to the number of filters that are applied. During convolution filters, our kernel slides over input feature map horizontally and vertically. You can see here 3 by 3 convolutions of depth 1 performed over 5 by 5 input feature map. There are 9 possible 3 by 3 locations to extract tiles from 5 by 5 image. So the convolution with filter 3 by 3 on the input 5 by 5 produces the 3 by 3 output feature map. For example, let us take this input matrix and this convolutional filter, each of depth 1 for each filter and tile pair, 3 by 3 tile. CNN performs dot product of filter matrix and tile matrix. You can see the process here. Each of the resulting value for every filter and tile pair is then the output in the convolutional feature matrix. Let's see one example for how to calculate output feature map values. This is our filter, all ones in this diagonal, and here also we have one. Remaining all values are zeros. The filter values are multiplied with this tile in the input matrix. We need to take sum of all these multiplied values. 3 times 1, 3. Anyway, these two will become zeros. 9 times 1, 9. Like that. We need to take sum of all these multiplied values, then the result will be 25. Why are we convolving input with filter? These filters will detect features in the input matrix. Here are some filters. This filter can detect vertical lines. This filter can detect horizontal lines. Suppose this is the input matrix and these two are filters. If we convolve with this filter, result will be like this. If Rayleigh activation is applied, all these negative values will become 0. Here we have high intensity pixels. Here also we have maximum values for this vertical line. Means which is detecting vertical lines. If we convolve with this filter, result will be like this, which will detect the horizontal line here. If we use high resolution images, means if input matrix is big, result would be more clear. During training, CNN learns optimal values for these filters. Then those filters will be used to extract the meaningful features such as edges and shapes. During convolution, filter slides over input matrix horizontally and vertically. Stride decides how many steps kernel move across the input image. Stride can be different for vertical and horizontal steps, but usually this will be same for vertical and horizontal. If stride is greater than 1, it scales down the output dimensions quickly. Output dimensions can be calculated with this formula. Here n is the input image size, f is the filter size, and s is the stride or step size. Let's consider n is 7 and f is 3. If stride is 1, then output feature map dimensions will be 5 by 5. Suppose if stride is 2, it will be 3 by 3 based on this formula. With stride 3, we are not getting integer value. So stride 3 is not valid option here. From the above example, output feature map 5 by 5 is smaller than the input feature map. Here we have input feature map 7 by 7 and output feature map with stride is 5 by 5. Input convoluted repeatedly shrink the output volumes. Shrinking too fast is not good, does not work well. If we instead want the output feature map to have the same dimensions as the input feature map, we can use zero padding. Zero padding means adding blank rows or columns with all zeros to each side of the input feature map. Here original input is this one. All sides we are adding with zeros. Now input feature map is 7 by 7. If we convolve this 7 by 7 matrix with these filters, output volume doesn't shrink too fast. One more advantage of padding is without padding there will be edge effect. Pixels near the edge will not be used as center pixels since there are not enough surrounding pixels. Since padding adds extra pixels around the original image, so every pixel of the original image will be centered pixel as the kernel moves across the image. By adding padding, we are adding more weightage to edge pixels also. With padding, output size will be calculated with this formula with same n and f values 7 and 3 respectively with padding 1. If stride is 1, output size will be 7 by 7. If stride is 2, output size is 4 by 4. With stride 3, output volume 3 by 3. With added padding, output size is more than without padding. Without padding, output sizes are lower than these output sizes. You can see the convolution demo by Andrej Karpathy. If input image is 3 channel image, here the input volume is 5 by 5 and depth is 3, means we have 3 channels, red, green and blue channels, and convolution layer parameters are k equal to 2, f is 3, s is 2 and p is 1, means we have two filters w0 and w1 of size 3 by 3 and they are applied with stride 2, means the subregion is moving every time 2 pixels. Here padding p value is 1, so output volume size will be 5 minus 3 plus 2 divided by 2 plus 1, which is 3. Each element of this output is computed by element wise multiplying highlighted region in input with filter and summing it up, then finally added the result with bias. The output value calculated like this. The first channel of this filter convoluted with first channel of input matrix with this highlighted region. Here only non-zero value is 2, which will be multiplied with this minus 1. So 2 times minus 1 plus here we have 3 non-zero values. Anyway, this value becomes 0 because here we have 0. So 2 times minus 1 plus 1 times minus 1. And for the third channel, here we have 3 non-zero values, but this 2 will becomes again 0 because here we have zeros. So 2 times minus 1 plus 2 times minus 1. So the result is minus 9. Then add this bias value, here it is 1, to the result negative 9. The final value is minus 8. Here two filters W0 and W1 applied to input. So two feature maps will be created. If 3 filters are applied to input, 3 feature maps will be created. As the number of filters applied to input increases, so the number of features extracted by CNN will also be increased. Here if we apply 4 filters, then 4 feature maps will be created. If the number of filters increase, it requires more parameters and it increases the training time also. It is advisable to use minimum number of filters needed to extract the features necessary for the task. And in convolution layers, activation function is commonly ReLU. This ReLU introduces the non-linearity. It replaces all negative values by zeros. As the convolution kernel slides along the input matrix for the layer, convolution generate feature maps. These feature maps are given to the next layer as input. Generally, convolution is followed by other layers such as pooling and fully connected layers. Next layer in CNN is pooling layer. The main idea of pooling layer is it reduces the image size by mapping patch of pixels to a single value. Pooling layers reduce the dimensions of the image data. Pooling layer reduces the amount of parameters and computation in the network, so it also controls the overfitting. Pooling layers does not have any parameters. There are different types of pooling operations: max pooling and average pooling. Max pooling uses the maximum value of each local cluster of neurons in the feature map. Here if we take this local subregion, it will take the maximum value from this subregion. In this subregion, here it will take 3. While average pooling takes the average value. At the end of the CNN, there are one or more fully connected layers. Fully connected layers connect every neuron in one layer to every neuron in other layers, same as traditional multi-layer perceptron neural networks. Typically, the final fully connected layer contains a softmax activation function which outputs probability values from 0 to 1 for each of the classification labels the model is trying to predict. Up to here, feature maps are 3D volumes. Feature maps will be flattened, means converted into one-dimensional vector. These flattened vectors will go through fully connected layer to classify the image. CNN architecture can be break it down into two parts. First part is feature extraction or feature learning part, stack convolution and nonlinearity with pooling operations, and repeat the same process. And the next part is it takes the extracted features and classify the image. This is the classification part. We will flatten these 3D volumes into one-dimensional vector, then feed it to the fully connected layer with activations such as softmax for classification. In next class, we will see one practical example for this CNN